Hello everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to go over my personal plan on how I'm going to make over £1 million profit from my Forex trading journey. In this video I'm going to outline the different strategies which I'm actually going to use to make this profit. Obviously the aim is to make, a lot more than 1 million.
What's also better than money? More fucking money. So that's it. There's a lot more coming in.
Because, seeing as I'm only 19, and we're already thinking about getting into that 7-figure range. 5-10 years hopefully will be 10 million plus, maybe 20-30 million in profit, depending on the scaling opportunities which we actually get. Will obviously depend on the amount of money I actually make. So if you guys are actually interested in the different strategies I'm going to use, then be sure to watch all the way through the video so you can see the way that I'm personally doing it, and you could possibly do it too, and we could all get rich together. The first method I'm actually going to use is through Propriet. The first method I'm going to use is proprietary trading firms, or also known as prop firms. And these, if you are new to trading, these are pretty much companies that once you've passed a challenge and you can pretty much prove that you can trade and be profitable, in the trading parameters which they actually provide for you, you get given a funded account for you to then trade, and the profit you make, you get a nice percentage of. So the ones I personally use, they offer 80 to 90% depending on the scaling plan that you're actually on. A lot of these companies actually offer up to $400,000 in trading allocation. There are many companies that actually offer this, so the way I'm going to do it is try and max out as many companies as possible. The 400,000 which you can actually get is kind of an amount which a lot of these companies use. Some obviously go higher with the scaling plans available. I've seen some up to $2 million, which would obviously be quite nice, but it does take a longer period of time to actually reach that sort of level with the scaling plan. But with this $400,000 per company, what I'm personally going to do is aim for 3 to 4 companies fully maxed out on the allocation. The reason for this, instead of just having one company and trading at $400,000, because you can get it per person, so technically you could do it for another family member and then trade for them too. But what I'm going to do is go to another company as well, get funded with them too, pass the stages, and then hopefully with those 2, 3, 4 companies which have actually maxed out, you'll have 1.2 to 1.6 million in funding. And obviously this isn't going to be easy, because the minimum to actually pass a lot of these challenges in days is minimum 20 days, and then 30 days for the first payout. So for each company it could take up to 50 days to actually get that first payout from. So you kind of have all those days pretty much of not making any money. We're going to go on to that a bit later with how I'm going to manage my personal account too. Let's just say you have these companies, you have the funded accounts now, you've passed the challenge, you've passed the verification. What's next? So when I actually personally trade the funded accounts, I aim for a lower risk percentage, profit wise. I still risk the 1%, but once I've made, 5 to 10% profit, I'm happy with the profit. Because of the larger account size, you kind of have to make, less profit to make the same amount as you would on a smaller account. So obviously on a 10k account, 5% is only £500. Well, I say only, £500 is a decent amount of money. That same 5% on a 200k account is 10 grand. The 5% on a 1.6 million account is around £80,000 or $80,000. So once you've made 5 to 10% in a month on these funded accounts, that's when I'd be done for the month. Or, well, technically you could be done for the year, because you'd be making, $80,000 to $160,000. Based on, let's say, 5% profit per month on a £1.6 million funded account, you'd make around $960,000 per year. And obviously people are going to comment, oh, that's not going to be every month. You're going to have expenses. You're going to have maybe months where it's less profit. You might even have a losing month. And yes, that is entirely possible, but you kind of got to go from the overall picture over the year. If you average 5% per month, which isn't actually too hard to do, one trade, 1 to 5, or obviously 1 to 2.5 risk to reward. You're going to have losses too. That's inevitable. You can't win every trade. But I think it is entirely possible, because if you've actually made the 10% in the first 30 days to pass the challenge, then why can't you make 5 to 10% per month after that on the funded account? So that is kind of the aim for the funded. And if you're making around 10% per month from this $1.6 million account, that will total to around $1.92 million in a year. And this is quite crazy. Obviously, it's not a simple task of actually getting these funded accounts. It takes time. You've got to do the 2 stages. You've got to get the payouts. You've got to then take the next funded account to actually reach the max allocation. So it's not going to happen within like 1 to 2 months that you can get this 5% is 80 grand. It's just not going to happen like that. You know, myself personally, I took 2 trades on the funded account I'm trading at the moment, which is a $200,000 account, and that was around just under 10k profit. So currently trading a 200,000 account alongside my personal account, and the way I'm actually going to structure, you know, the payouts from the funded is because I use a limited company to actually pay out into. This is going to obviously get taxed because you're trading for a company, but a lot of people actually ask me about tax, and obviously I'm not a tax advisor, I'm not an accountant, so the best thing to probably do is just get an accountant. They know everything, so you can just get an accountant and they can pretty much sort it out for you, because I am no expert. But once it has actually been taxed, you can take it out as dividends, and then this will kind of fund the personal account. The biggest power in trading and how you can scale up your income is just by compound effect. You can't really compound a funded account. So this is where the personal account, the second part, actually comes into it. Before we go into that, my aim, 800,000 to 1.2 million in funded capital. And this coupled with my other sources of income, which technically are trading related, but I'm talking about solely trading profits here. I'm not talking about, you know, other businesses. And I'd say for most people watching this, if you're not funded already, you might already have, you know, 10, 20k in an account. But if you have the skill set and you have the knowledge and the psychology on lock enough to make, let's say 10%, 5% in a month, then I'd say just go for funded. At the end of the day, once you've actually got that first payout, you've got your refund for the challenge, which you paid up front, it's then totally risk-free. You've got paid, because you think once you've actually got paid, you've got the money, you've got your refund, any profit you then make, let's say it's 1%, 2% per month, you just trade it on the side, it's free profit. Even if you trade it, you know, as your sole account, your main account, again, it's free profit. If you blow the account, you're still in profit from the first payout. You've got your refund, you're not out of pocket at all. And you obviously, let's say you go 5% into drawdown, you don't lose any money yourself. If you make profits, you obviously get that nice healthy profit split as well, which kind of, you know, is absolutely lovely, making 80% or 90% profit on money that's not even yours. I mean, who can complain about that? I mean, it's just, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. If you have the trading skill set and you don't have millions to actually trade and you want to make a, you know, substantial income, then I'd personally say it is a no-brainer to actually just do 100k, 200k, or even up to 2 million in funding. But next we're going to move on to how I'm going to manage my personal trading account and manage the payouts from the funded. Okay guys, moving on to part 2 of the process. I have actually already filmed this part, but I did accidentally delete the file. I have the video file, but I accidentally deleted the audio file, so we're going to have to film this again. So if I don't sound as interested in the topics, then it is literally because I've already filmed it once and I'm having to film this, you know, 10-minute section again. Moving on to phase 2, this is where the personal account actually comes into it, and how we're going to use the funding to grow the personal account to then hopefully have either accounts of equal size or the personal account over time slowly growing bigger than the funded capital which I'm currently trading. And the way I'm actually going to grow this personal account is just through slow and consistent gains. You've often see people, they make 100% in 1 month, next month they're minus 20%. Over the year, they have those big months, but then they have those massive losing months. And it's all good having those really good months, but I'm rather focused on consistent profit every single month. 5 to 10% every single month. So I know that, okay, on my capital, over the year, based on my previous results, this is what we can kind of see growth-wise, and then you can base how much you're going to invest, how much time you're going to spend on it, based on your ROI. With this account, I am aiming to deposit every single month. These deposits are going to come from funded capital, my other sources of income, which I currently have, my mentorship, my YouTube income, my investments. All these generate income, which I can put back into my trading, invest back into the business to actually make more profit in the long run. And let's say I add around $5,000 to $10,000 per month into this account. Within a year of actually doing this with the compound effect, then we could see close to funded account level. It'll be way over 6 figures deposited. And then you've got to think, okay, based on gains too, 5 to 10% per month, we can definitely see some large gains actually on the account. And within a couple of years of actually doing this, the account should definitely be larger than the funded capital which I'm actually trading, depending obviously on how much I get funded. As I mentioned previously, the aim is to get around 800,000 to over $1 million in funding from these multiple different prop firms. And that's obviously going to be a bit tricky to actually build my personal account up to that 7-figure range, but it is obviously possible because there's many traders out there, many retail traders out there that actually have 7-figure accounts that are making 6 figures a month, 6 figures per trade just from retail brokers and all the retail trading. And one of the main things I'm actually going to focus on is not withdrawing any money from the account. But the way I've structured it is all my expenses which I actually have personally, they get paid from my other businesses. So I have my salary, which is obviously the most tax efficient salary you can get because I don't want to pay max tax. It just means that based on my trading, I don't have any expenses that I need to make profit from my trading to be able to live. So it means I don't have to withdraw money weekly, monthly from my trading account, or pretty much ever. I can just grow it and compound it over time to then see the true effect of this compound effect. I think Warren Buffett said that he invested $10,000 back then, which is now worth however many billion, just from that compound effect, adding every single year, every single month to get that compound effect. The things he was investing in were probably making like 10% a year. I think the S&P does on average 8 to 10% a year. And you think if I'm making 5 to 10% per month, then the compound effect will be a lot larger. But you have got to be careful, obviously, because I think brokers are only protected up to a certain amount of income, of capital even. The issue with actually withdrawing from this account, so for example, if the account is $100,000, so the account balance, and I lose 5 trades in a row, risking 1%, then we're minus $5,000. Let's say I need to pay some bills and I take out £10,000, $10,000 even. So now the account is at $85,000. If I now want to make back the losses, that 5% which I lost, I now have to make 5.8% profit. So you see, the more you take out, the more you lose. I wouldn't really say lose because that's part of the trading game, but the more money you actually withdraw, and it'll actually start hindering the compound effect, you're going to have to make more profits on that lower account balance, obviously, to make back the losses from when it was a higher account balance. So you kind of get in that thing of, okay, I've only lost 5%, but now I have to make back almost 6% to make back that 5% profit. So if you keep going up and up and up, those losses from 5 months ago that was minus 5% might be only 1% now. So you need to make 1% to make back those 5% losses because of the compounding, because of the monthly deposits into the account. If you are actually doing this correctly as well, you obviously don't want to keep adding to a losing account. Let's say you're not profitable yet and you're just losing month on month. There's no point to keep putting money in and in and in, kind of just fueling the fire. Because the more money you put in, the bigger the losses are going to be, the more money you're going to lose overall. So people definitely take funded accounts too early as well. So with the funded, if you're not making over 10% per month, or let's say 5 to 10% per month, because technically you could risk 2%, but obviously I wouldn't advise it. I always risk 1% myself. But if you're not making that, then you're clearly not ready for the funded. If you can't make it on your demo account, on your small personal account, why would you be able to do it on a funded account when you've got those set rules? You've got that set time period where you've got to make the profit. You can't lose a certain amount. If you can't do it on your personal, you can't do it on the funded. Simple as. So there's no point rushing into it. Losing money from paying for the challenges, it's just not worth it in the long run. And the overall goal for this personal account is obviously to make it larger than the funded capital. Because let's say worst case scenario, the funded companies shut down, or I break the rules and I lose the accounts, all of the accounts. You'll be left with nothing. Let's say you withdraw, you spend, you withdraw, you spend every single month from the funded companies. You're going to be left with absolutely nothing. You might have some money left, but yeah. This is why I'm depositing it into a personal account. The profit will grow, grow, grow. If you're a winning trader and you're making money, you might as well just take the trades on both. Obviously, if you lose, you're going to lose double because you're losing on both accounts. But you might as well. If you're a winning trader and you're making profit every month, it's a no-brainer really. And my personal aim is around 5 to 10% per month. I mentioned it earlier, but on my personal account, this is when I actually stop trading for the month if I make that sort of range. You know, if I go over to my public WillssFX book now, and this is public for you guys to see, linked in the description, you can see that my personal account, obviously I'm hiding the balance and all of that sort of stuff, because it's like asking someone how much is in your bank account, that sort of thing. Obviously I'll show the funded accounts and all of that, and I've done it previously, you know, with the FTMO. We've got a new series coming out of a new prop firm. I did it with Funding Talent as well. All that is public, you know, the withdrawals, everything like that. I've shown live withdrawals too before on my channel, so you guys can go and check that out. But you can see, got 266 people have seen it so far. 1 to 30 leverage on Admiral markets, and we're up 5.5% with only 1% drawdown, which is very, very good. And as you see, April, I think that was when I actually deposited the money to start growing this account. And then May, we're up 5.5%. And as you can see, May 5.5%, April 0%, because we did actually just have this deposit. Yeah, but you see the discipline here. When I used to trade, I'd pretty much trade every single day. But on this account, you know, the day is 24th of May, so it's been 22 days. Haven't placed a single trade because I reached my target. I got that 5 to 10%, and now why would I keep trading? I can now go and trade the prop firms and all of that sort of stuff, and then it doesn't really matter. Minus 8 pips, plus 40 pips, 6.5%, minus 1%. We're loving life. 50% win rate. You know, I'm happy with the results. 2 trades, 1 win, 1 loss, 5.5% profit. You know, the risk to reward is absolutely perfect on that. So everything went to the plan. I followed the trading plan. I followed all my trading rules, and it obviously worked out. So now I'm going to repeat that every single month. Obviously, there is a chance that we get a losing month. So when I say the 5 to 10%, I say that on average. There are going to be months which are maybe more profit. You have more setups fit your plan. There are going to be months where you might even lose money. And, you know, I'm prepared for this because I do it on average. I don't really care about this week's results, this month's results. I'm looking at the year. The yearly results for this strategy. Results from 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. That's what I'm interested in. Anyone can be profitable in a week or a month. Not many people can be profitable over years, a yearly period, or even a 5-year period. Not many people can do it. So that's what I'm aiming for on this account. You know, it's all public. You guys can go and see it if you want. So don't want to hide anything, want to be transparent. So obviously it's not going to show the trades when they're live, because, well, you'd just be able to copy all the trades, which obviously isn't great. But yeah, that is the goal for this account. We're going to use the funded profit, all the withdrawals from that, to pump it into the personal account, grow that as well, to then hopefully become a trader with 7-8 figures in my personal capital, to then chill by the beach and trade full time. Lovely, lovely times. But if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on this, and if you're going to try it yourself. Follow my Instagram, I'll put it on the screen, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.